The rain had been falling for hours. Cold water rushed along the sidewalks of the city, turning the streets into shining rivers beneath the golden glow of streetlights. Most people hurried past with umbrellas over their heads. But one man remained sitting beneath the broken roof of an abandoned bus shelter. His clothes were torn. His shoes were soaked. His beard was untrimmed, and his face was covered in dirt. To everyone passing by, he was nothing more than a homeless beggar. But hidden beneath those worn-out clothes was a secret that could change everything. His name was Adrian Cole. And he was the richest man in the world. Just 3 months earlier, Adrian owned a business empire worth billions of dollars. He had private jets, luxury mansions, expensive cars, and companies operating across several countries. People fought for a few minutes of his attention. Politicians invited him to private dinners. Businessmen called him sir with nervous smiles. But Adrian had grown tired of one question. Do they love me, or do they love my money? So he decided to disappear. He left his mansion, abandoned his security team, changed his clothes, grew a beard, and began living like a homeless man. He wanted to discover what people were really like when they thought he had nothing. For weeks, he watched people walk past him. Some ignored him. Some insulted him. Some threw coins without even looking at his face. But one woman was different. Her name was Sophia Bennett. Sophia was 28 years old, beautiful, kind-hearted, and worked at a small bakery in the city. That evening, she was walking home when she noticed Adrian sitting alone beneath the shelter. She stopped. She looked at him for several seconds. Then she walked toward him. Sir, are you okay? Adrian slowly lifted his head. I'm fine, he replied quietly. Sophia frowned. You're sitting here in this rain. I don't have anywhere else to go. Sophia looked at his wet clothes. Then she looked at the small paper bag in her hand. Inside was a sandwich she had bought for dinner. She handed it to him. You should eat this. Adrian stared at the sandwich. Why? Sophia smiled. Because you're hungry. He almost laughed. That's your reason? What other reason do I need? For the first time in months, Adrian didn't know what to say. Sophia sat beside him. You shouldn't stay here tonight, she said. I'll manage. No, you won't. Adrian looked at her. She stood up and held out her hand. Come with me. He stared at her hand as if it were something priceless. Where? My apartment. Adrian immediately shook his head. No. I can't. Sophia crossed her arms. Why not? I don't want to cause trouble. You won't. I could be dangerous. She smiled. You look more frightened than dangerous. Adrian couldn't help smiling. Sophia noticed. See? You can smile. Then she started walking. After a moment, Adrian followed. Sophia lived in a small apartment above the bakery where she worked. It wasn't luxurious. There was one bedroom, a tiny kitchen, an old sofa, and a heater that made strange noises. But when Adrian stepped inside, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Warmth. Not the warmth of expensive furniture or fireplaces. The warmth of a home. Sophia gave him a towel and an old pair of clothes belonging to her late father. You can shower first, she said. Adrian looked at her. You trust me? Sophia shrugged. I don't know you. Then why are you helping me? She smiled softly. Because somebody should. Those words stayed in Adrian's mind. After showering, Adrian came into the kitchen wearing the old clothes. Sophia had prepared hot soup. He sat at the table. She placed the bowl in front of him. Eat. Adrian took the first spoonful. His eyes suddenly became wet. Sophia noticed. Are you crying? No. You're definitely crying. Adrian lowered his head. It's been a long time since someone cooked for me. Sophia smiled. Then you must have been living a very lonely life. Adrian looked at her. You have no idea. That night, Sophia allowed him to sleep on the sofa. She had no idea that the man lying beneath her old blanket owned more houses than she could imagine. The next morning, Sophia went to work. Before leaving, she placed breakfast on the table. I'll be back tonight. Adrian nodded. Thank you. She stopped at the door. Don't disappear. He smiled. I won't. But the moment Sophia left, Adrian's expression changed. He pulled a small phone from inside his old jacket. The phone had been turned off for months. He switched it on. Within seconds, hundreds of messages appeared. Missed calls. Emergency alerts. News notifications. And one message from his personal assistant, Marcus. Sir, we've found you. Adrian's face became serious. Another message arrived. There's a crisis at Coal International. Someone inside the company is trying to take control. Adrian stared at the screen. Then another message appeared. Sir, we believe the person responsible is someone you trust. Adrian's eyes narrowed. He immediately called Marcus. Marcus answered after one ring. Sir. Where are you? Don't ask. We've been searching everywhere. Listen carefully, Adrian said. Do not tell anyone you found me. There was silence. Why? Because whoever is behind this may be listening. Adrian looked toward the apartment door. Then he whispered. I need to know who betrayed me. That evening, Sophia returned from work carrying groceries. But when she opened the door, she froze. Adrian was standing beside the window. His torn clothes were gone. His beard had been trimmed slightly. And in his hand was an expensive-looking phone. Sophia stared at him. Adrian. He turned around. Before he could answer, someone knocked loudly on the apartment door. Sophia looked frightened. Who could that be? Another knock. Then a man's voice came from outside. Mr. Cole, we know you're in there. Sophia's face went pale. She looked at Adrian. Mr. Cole? Adrian slowly closed his eyes. His secret was about to be exposed. Then the door handle began to move. Someone was trying to break in. And Sophia suddenly realized that the homeless man she had brought home was hiding something far bigger than she could ever imagine. The door handle moved again. Sophia stepped backward. Her heart was pounding. Adrian, who are these people? Adrian looked at her calmly. Stay behind me. But they called you Mr. Cole. Adrian didn't answer. Suddenly, the door shook violently. Bang! Sophia screamed. Adrian! He grabbed her hand and pulled her toward the kitchen. There's another exit. They rushed through the small kitchen and opened the back door. Cold rain hit Sophia's face. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. They ran through the narrow alley behind the building. Sophia could barely keep up. After several minutes, a black luxury car suddenly stopped beside them. The back door opened. A man in a black suit stepped out. Mr. Cole. Sophia froze. Adrian looked at the man. Marcus. Marcus immediately lowered his voice. We need to leave. They found the apartment. Adrian opened the car door. Get Sophia inside. Sophia refused. No. I'm not going anywhere until someone tells me what is happening. Adrian looked directly into her eyes. My name isn't Adrian Miller. Sophia stared at him. My real name is Adrian Cole. Her eyes widened. The Adrian Cole? He nodded. The owner of Coal International? Yes. Sophia couldn't speak. She had seen his face in newspapers, on television, on magazine covers. The billionaire everyone called the world's richest businessman. She looked at his torn clothes. Then at the luxury car. "You're a billionaire?" Adrian nodded. Sophia stepped backward. "Why did you lie to me?" "I didn't lie about everything. You told me you had nothing. I wanted to know what people would do if they thought I had nothing." Sophia's expression changed. "So I was just an experiment?" Adrian's eyes filled with regret. "At first, maybe." Sophia turned away. "But then you became the only person I trusted." Before she could respond, Marcus interrupted. "Sir, we have to go now." They entered the car. Within minutes, they were speeding through the city. Sophia sat silently beside Adrian. She couldn't stop thinking about the man she had brought home. She remembered feeding him, giving him her father's clothes, letting him sleep on her sofa. And now she was sitting beside one of the richest men alive. The car finally arrived at an enormous mansion hidden behind tall iron gates. Sophia stared through the window. "This is your home?" Adrian nodded. The gates opened. The mansion looked like a palace. Dozens of security guards stood outside. As Adrian stepped out, everyone immediately bowed. "Welcome back, sir." Sophia felt overwhelmed. Adrian turned toward her. "I know this is difficult. You should have told me. I was afraid." Sophia looked surprised. "Afraid of what?" "That you would treat me differently." She stared at him. "And now?" "Now I'm more afraid of losing you." Sophia looked away. She wasn't ready to forgive him. Not yet. That night, Marcus entered Adrian's private office. "We've identified the traitor." Adrian stood up. "Who?" Marcus placed a photograph on the desk. Adrian stared at it. His face became pale. "No." The photograph showed his younger brother, Ethan. Adrian had trusted Ethan more than anyone. He had given him access to almost everything. "Are you sure?" Marcus nodded. "We have financial records, recordings, and messages." Adrian clenched his fists. "So he tried to kill me?" "He also planned to take control of the company after your death." Adrian sat silently. He remembered growing up with Ethan. They had promised each other they would always protect one another. Now everything was different. The following morning, Adrian called a press conference. News reporters from around the world gathered outside Cole International. Cameras flashed as Adrian walked onto the stage. The crowd erupted. "Adrian Cole is alive." For months, the world had believed he was dead. Adrian stood before hundreds of reporters. "My disappearance was not an accident," he said. The room became silent. "Someone inside my own family tried to eliminate me and steal my company." Suddenly, security guards escorted Ethan into the room. Ethan looked furious. "You can't prove anything." Adrian looked at Marcus. Marcus nodded. A recording began playing on the giant screen. Ethan's voice filled the room. "I want Adrian gone. Once he's dead, everything belongs to me." The reporters gasped. Ethan's face turned white. "You're lying." Then another recording played. This time, Ethan was discussing the assassination plan with the people who had attacked Adrian. There was no escape. Security officers arrested him. Adrian watched silently as his brother was taken away. But despite winning, he didn't look happy. Sophia was standing at the back of the room. Their eyes met. After the press conference, she walked toward him. "You saved your company." Adrian nodded. "And you saved my life." Sophia smiled slightly. "You could have died that night." "So could you." She looked at him. "Why did you risk everything for me?" Adrian stepped closer. Because you were the first person in years who saw me as a human being instead of a billionaire. Sophia's eyes became emotional. You don't need to be rich to deserve kindness. I know. He smiled. That is what you taught me. Months passed. Adrian completely changed. He began donating millions to homeless shelters. He created hospitals for people who couldn't afford treatment. He built affordable homes for struggling families. And every project carried one simple message. Everyone deserves dignity. Sophia eventually became the director of his new charity foundation. One evening, Adrian took her back to the same bus shelter where they had first met. The place looked exactly the same. Rain began falling again. Adrian smiled. Do you remember this? Sophia laughed. How could I forget? He reached into his pocket. This time, there was no expensive diamond ring. Instead, there was a small silver ring with a simple design. I had everything in the world, Adrian said. But the night you gave a homeless stranger your last meal, I realized I had nothing that money could buy. Sophia looked at the ring. What are you saying? Adrian took her hand. I don't want you to love me because I'm rich. I want you to love the man you met under that broken shelter. Sophia smiled through her tears. I already do. Adrian placed the ring on her finger. And under the same rain where their story had begun, the world's richest man finally understood something money could never teach him. The greatest wealth in life isn't what you own. It's the people who love you when they believe you have nothing.